Part 37. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 361. I tried to find this friend, and she later found out that I was looking for her, so she called me. She said, "Don't look for me. I didn't do this to make you grateful to me. I just didn't like it." I insisted on thanking her. She said that if I need you in the future, I will look for you. After that, she hung up the phone, the old man said. I called back and was told that the number was unavailable. This wait is 7 years. Over the years, I have forgotten many things, but I have never forgotten her voice. When I received her call, I didn't dare to acknowledge it. Because her timbre has not changed, but her voice has become a little softer. The old man's hearing was quite acute. John Killen couldn't help but be curious, is Chen Ling's original voice the same as now? It's definitely different. John Killen had an intuition. So when she called the old man, did she imitate her old voice? So, what does a special engineering spirit look like? The old man continued to speak, and John Killen immediately retracted his thoughts and listened carefully. She casually mentioned a few key points, which reassured me. She said she needed my help. She said that in a few hours, an Asian man would come here looking for a boat. He was going to country Y. The characteristic is that this man is very handsome and has good skills. She invited me to help you. She also transferred a large amount of money to my account. Sir, how can I still collect money from her? The old man said, then I am too unfaithful. So please tell her and ask her to give me an account and I will return the money to her. Chen Ling has always been forward-looking in his work. Logically speaking, she had given the old man such a great favor, so she should not give him any more money. Giving money will hurt the dignity of the elderly. But Chen Ling did this. John Killen couldn't understand at the moment, but he firmly believed that Chen Ling had her reasons. Sir, John Killen said, please accept this money. I think this friend may still need your help. If you don't give me money, won't I stop helping? The old man was a little unhappy. John Killen said, perhaps the thing she wants you to help requires money. She considers things very carefully. The old man suddenly said, from your tone, you know her very well. John Killen was very cautious. He was silent. Didn't answer the old man's question. The old man laughed loudly, young man, don't be nervous. I just want to know, what kind of person is she? What kind of person? What kind of person is Chen Ling? Thinking of Chen Ling, the usually stern lines on John Killen's face softened, and his voice also had a hint of gentleness. She is the most beautiful person in the world. She is brave, kind, smart, and generous. If there is a God in this world, it must be her. A smile as bright as a chrysanthemum bloomed on the old man's wrinkled face. Thank the sun god, he said. The two came to the dark blue cargo ship that the old man pointed at before. This cargo ship transports agricultural products such as coffee beans, sugar cane, and sisal. It is relatively clean and exudes the aroma of coffee beans and the sweetness of sugar cane. Please come on board, said the old man. John Killen bowed slightly, thank you. The old man followed him onto the boat and walked straight to the deck. There was a deck chair next to the deck, and lying on it was a tall, white-skinned man with a curly beard. He covered his face with a bucket hat. Feeling the shaking of the ship as someone moved around, the man in the lounge chair reached out and removed the hat from his face. He has a very exaggerated hooked nose and blue eyes. When the hook-nosed man saw the old man, his pupils trembled, and he immediately stood up and stood with his hands lowered respectfully. Why are you here? It can be seen that people here respect this old man very much. This is my good friend. He wants to take your ship to country Y. Please take good care of him. The hook-nosed man showed a bright smile. It has been an honor to serve your friend. The old man patted his hooked nose and said to John Killen. Country Y is in chaos right now. Please be more careful. If you run into trouble, go to the port of Country Y and take this. The old man took out a decoration made of the thigh bone of a bird or animal, with gorgeous paintings on the bone. The people there will definitely save you if they see this. John Killen took it with both hands, put it very carefully in the pocket close to his chest, and respectfully thanked you, thank you. The old man nodded, said no more, turned and got off the boat. The hook-nosed man took John Killen to a very clean room. John Killen opened the window and could see the sea. The deep blue sea reflects the pre-dawn moon, and the white sandy beach is illuminated by the moon and exudes a faint crystal white light. At this time, desolate and high-pitched music came from the window. John Killen saw the old man on the shore. The old man knelt on the ground, facing the moon, holding an Indian flute in his hand and playing slowly. John Killen has heard this music. The last of the Mohicans. The sound of the flute is like crying and complaining, desolate and helpless. The sound of this flute represents the fall of a civilization. The death of a nation. Expressing the sadness and helplessness of the last survivor of the nation. John Killen closed his eyes. He swore in his heart. He would protect his nation. He would never let the cunning and evil enemy harm his nation. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 362. Cheng Ling woke up. Today, they were leaving for Xianyang. She picked up her phone and sent a message to John Killen. Cheng Xiaoling, where is Xiaolan? Lan, yes, I am here fortunately, I have the master's ticket, thank you for your grace. Cheng Ling was happy. However, the two of them were joking and for information security. John Killen was in a chaotic country, and anything could happen. Even if the information was intercepted, it would be difficult for foreigners to understand the meaning of the conversation between the two for a while. Cheng Xiaoling, I am about to leave for Chang'an Xiaolan, be careful. Lan, I obey your order, I respectfully send you off. John Killen put away his phone, and the tenderness in his eyes was tidy. He had arrived in Country Y for 5 hours. This place is indeed a paradise for criminals. Thieves, robbers, and drug addicts are everywhere. After he got off the boat, he thanked the hook nose and did not go directly to where he wanted to go. Because John Killen was targeted as soon as he got off the boat. Asterisk. Cheng Ling packed her luggage. The family was waiting in the house to say goodbye to her. Even the old man Cheng, who had been elusive for the past few days, did not go out and waited in the living room of Cheng's house. Old man Cheng is a social expert. After he came back, he couldn't stay idle. He used his social talent to make friends with all the elderly people over 60 years old in the community. Every elderly person felt that they were close friends with old man Cheng. The community where Cheng's house was located was the top community in Fengcheng, and the elderly here controlled the direction of the entire Fengcheng and even China. Old man Cheng catered to the preferences of each friend. Some accompanied him to play chess, some went hiking together, some went to the flower and bird market, and some tasted tea. Everyone enjoyed the time with old man Cheng. But old man Cheng still felt empty. Old Master Cheng has a problem. If he doesn't make money for a day, he feels uncomfortable all over. So, he began to think about doing something in Fengcheng. After several investigations, he chose Zishan and leased a piece of mountain. Without excessive commercial packaging, he announced that this place is a paradise. The rich people in the city who are trapped in cement blocks can go to his paradise, abandon all the conveniences brought by modernization, and return to farming life. Cheng Ling had to admit. In terms of business acumen, old Master Cheng is definitely the best. Too lazy to repair, building buildings, paving bricks, planning parking lots, etc., he claimed to return to the primitive. Let a group of rich people experience the fun of planting by themselves, let the rich people pay for renting land, spend dozens of times the price to buy old Master Cheng's seeds, and hire old Master Cheng's workers to help with pest control and care. The rich people have to ask questions every day. Have the vegetables I planted sprouted? Sprouted? Take a picture for me. Old Master Cheng originally planned to hire college students to manage the manor for the rich, but Cheng Ling sent a group of persecuted girls, so he arranged for these girls to take care of the housework in the manor. When the rich came to the manor, he would not let the girls show up, but let the hired farmers come out to help. The girls did some work that did not require dealing with people. For example, taking pictures of the manor vegetables, helping the manor to weed and kill insects, helping to pick, pack gift boxes, write gift cards, and send express to the rich in the city. These girls soak in the greenhouse every day, experience the fun of planting, and get a generous salary. Ling you go steadily, I won't treat those children badly. They are all miserable people. Old Master Cheng knew what Cheng Ling was worried about. Grandpa, if someone finds out that you took them in. Cheng Ling was a little worried. These girls can't stay in the mountains forever, and they can't never contact outsiders. As long as the contact is established, if you go out, your whereabouts may be exposed. Old Master Cheng interrupted her, I know. I know. If something happens, I will find you first. Our Ling Laoda will protect us. Cheng Ling. Ling Laoda, what the hell? Okay, don't worry so much. Do you think that the men in our Cheng family are all freeloaders? Brother Cheng looked impatient. Can we let Grandpa be bullied? Cheng Ling said to her mother and sister, you two, control yourself a little bit, don't bother Alexei all the time. Mother Cheng and Sister Cheng pouted at the same time. It's almost time. Cheng Ling grabbed the luggage pole, then I'm leaving. Take care of yourself. Father Cheng patted his daughter's shoulder and said earnestly, focus on filming, don't worry about us. Cheng Ling said Father Cheng continued, it is important to contact Commander Zhang more often when you have time, and care about him more. There are too many coquettish and bitchy people out there now. If you are not considerate and gentle, others will naturally be considerate and gentle. The duck that you have finally got, don't let it fly away again. Mother Cheng turned her face away. She said coldly, what does there are too many coquettish and bitchy people mean? Can you explain it to me? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Bulletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 363. Father Cheng exclaimed, ah. Then he quickly explained, Madam, listen to me. I have never done anything to let you down. I know you don't have the guts. Mother Cheng crossed her legs, raised her hands, and looked at her newly made manicure with her fingers curled up. Father Cheng was about to breathe a sigh of relief when she heard Mother Cheng continue, but, you have to listen to the tone of the words. From what I hear, you are blaming me for not caring about you enough. If you have any opinions, you might as well tell me directly, don't beat around the bush. Father Cheng, Madam, it's unfair. Mother Cheng looked away from the manicure and turned to look at Father Cheng. Then don't let our Linger stick to Commander Zhang all the time. Love is mutual. You care about me, I care about you, and love can last. Those who can be seduced away by others are not yours. Mother Cheng took Cheng Ling's hand, Mom knows it's not easy for you to find a man you like. But we can't be the same as before. The more you like him, the more you have to control yourself and don't rush too much. Cheng Ling smiled and hugged her mother, I know. Finally, she picked up the suitcase, okay, I'm leaving. If I don't leave, I'll be late. At the same time, Cheng Ling said in her heart, Brother Lan is like Tang Seng who ate immortality. It is inevitable that he will be targeted by all kinds of demons and monsters in Country Y. Asterisk. The commercial streets of Country Y are crowded with people coming and going. There are also motorcycles spewing black smoke, roaring past. John Killen shuttled through the crowd. As he walked, he used the glass of the shops on the street and the rear-view mirrors of the cars to observe the people following him. Currently, there are 3 groups of people following John Killen. One group was riding motorcycles. There were 3 motorcycles in total, 2 of which were ridden by one person. The third motorcycle was ridden by a burly man with white skin and red beard, a bit like a Russian. A beautiful woman with a slender waist and red hair sat on the back of the motorcycle. The second group looked like local black gang thugs who were not easy to mess with. They had dark and shiny skin, thick lips, black and yellow teeth, sneaky eyes, and extremely thin limbs. And they were all barefoot. The third group was a group of black children. The children were so thin that they pursed their cheeks and ran very fast. They ran on the street, like slippery loaches, drilling in and out of the gaps between the crowd and the street. John Killen turned around the street several times. In the end, he found that it was almost impossible to get rid of them on the street. So John Killen decided to change his strategy and turn from passive to active. Before coming, John Killen had already imprinted the map in his mind. He knew where to get rid of these people. After crossing several streets, the view was suddenly clear. Facing him was the sea, the beach, and the charming palm trees. Not far away, a wooden plank road meandered through the beach and was built in the air near the sea. At the end of the plank road was a very distinctive wooden house with colorful signs hanging on it. Outside the wooden house, there was a particularly eye-catching and gorgeous painting, a dancer with wheat-colored skin, plump hips, and thin waist, wrapped in a red tight dance skirt, dancing passionately. At the top of the wooden house hung a large sign, which read in a rather bold style, "No Way Out Bar." This bar provides catering, accommodation, and motorboat rental services. John Killen stepped onto the plank road and walked straight to the bar. The plank road was very long, at least more than 300 meters long. Halfway through, he felt the vibration of footsteps on the plank road. He stopped and looked back. The child trackers were nowhere to be found. The barefoot hooligans stood among the palm trees, looking at John Killen with angry expressions. But they didn't have the courage to walk onto the plank road. John Killen guessed that this bar should still be the territory of another faction. These local hooligans were not to be trifled with. Only the motorcycle gang parked their cars on the road beside the beach. Several people on motorcycles were sitting, squatting, or standing beside their cars. The slender-waisted woman who was originally sitting in the back seat was now on the plank road, walking lightly towards John Killen. She had a bright and beautiful smile on her face. The way she walked was like dancing. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Bulletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 364. John Killen stood on the plank road. He had a backpack full of weapons on his back, his left hand in his trouser pocket, and watched the woman approach with an expressionless face. Her accomplices were confident that she would come alone. John Killen could just ignore such a woman and go directly to the bar. But John Killen didn't want to make enemies for himself. Being able to open such an ostentatious bar on the beach of Country Y shows that the owner is definitely not an ordinary person. John Killen is not afraid of trouble. But this does not mean that he will find trouble for himself. If he goes directly to the bar like this, it means that he will bring trouble to it. The bar owner will never like someone who brings trouble to the bar. So, John Killen stood on the plank road, waiting for the woman to approach. Foreign women mature early, and it is difficult to estimate their age. In short, they should not be more than 25 years old. She has a pair of blue eyes, natural red hair, and exquisite makeup. She is a rare foreign beauty. What's more, she was wearing a dark black suspender with very little fabric at the moment, and she was not wearing any underwear, so her figure was surging when she walked. She was wearing super short jeans, and the pockets were much longer than the pants. When she walked, you could even see her buttocks shaking. "Sir, do you understand English?" she threw a charming wink at John Killen. "Yes." John Killen answered the woman's question indifferently in English. The woman looked at John Killen from head to toe with a revealing look. John Killen's height was considered tall no matter what race he was. He had a well-proportioned bone mass, beautiful muscle lines, sexy and powerful, thick black hair, dark black eyes, and a cold face, with a strong oriental mysterious color. This was a rare handsome man. The woman's heart was moved. She used her fingers to wrap around the red hair hanging down from her chest, curling it, and said with a sweet smile, "Sir, is this your first time in country Y? Why not stop and taste the flavor of country Y?" After the woman finished speaking, she licked her lips, and her eyes stayed on John Killen's thighs. John Killen said coldly, "I'm not interested. In addition, no matter what you want to get from me, I advise you to give up the idea as soon as possible." The woman covered her mouth and smiled. "Sir, don't be nervous, they are my men. I have the final say here." She circled around John Killen. The bare arm rubbed John Killen's arm lightly as if unintentionally. John Killen's voice suddenly dropped several degrees. "Madam, please be respectful. Don't touch me again, otherwise, I will make you pay." "Oh, sir, don't be so cold and ruthless." She shook her upper body slightly, and her white breasts trembled. "I just want to taste the taste of sir. My skills are very good, sir, you will know if you try it." As she said, she boldly touched John Killen's thigh. "Hiss." The woman quickly pulled back her hand as if she was bitten by a poisonous snake, and blood beads rolled down her palm. John Killen's left hand, which had been in his pocket, was pulled out. He held a switchblade in his left hand, and the blade flashed with cold light. He just used the switchblade to block his body in front of him to avoid contact with the woman. "You." The woman's blue eyes flashed a trace of ruthlessness. "I said, don't touch me." John Killen's eyes showed a look of disgust, cold and fierce. Seeing that something was wrong, the motorcycle accomplices in the distance stood up and walked towards the plank road with big strides. At this time, the door of the bar behind them creaked open. The motorcycle riders who were about to walk onto the plank road in the distance stopped. The woman holding her injured hand in front of her stared at a place behind John Killen. John Killen clearly saw the woman's eyes flashing with fear, disgust, anger, and many other emotions. "Delis, have you forgotten my rules? Those who walk onto the plank road are my guests. And can you bully my guests at will? The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment." Author, Bulletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 365. The person who spoke was a man. Moreover, the man's voice was unexpectedly pleasant, with a fairly standard British accent. The woman's name was Delis. Delis did not move or speak. The voice said again, "You have 3 minutes to leave the plank road, otherwise, I can only throw you off from here." A trace of humiliation flashed in Delis's eyes, and then she bit her bright red lips, shook her long hair, turned around, and walked quickly towards the beach. John Killen turned around. Outside the bar, stood a brown-skinned man in his 40s, with black hair tied into a ponytail behind his head. He was wearing a pair of fancy beach shorts and a gorgeous short-sleeved floral shirt on his upper body. A strong beach style. He looked like a kind uncle. "Dear guest, I hope I have not affected your experience," the uncle said gently and gentlemanly. John Killen's heart was alarmed. This person, he actually knew him. 4 years ago, in the course Study and Analysis of International Unsolved Cases, John Killen came into contact with a tragic case of the extermination of an English noble family that shocked Europe and the United States. The male owner of the noble family was an earl. The title was passed down from generation to generation in the family. The earl lived in a manor far away from the city, and there was a century-old castle in the manor. Farmers would regularly deliver fresh food to the castle. One day, the farmer came to deliver food again and found that there was a strong stench in the manor. The entire castle, all the servants, including the earl's family of 7, were brutally killed. Especially the male owner, the earl, and the earl's youngest son, died in a particularly tragic way. According to on-site analysis, the two should have suffered very serious perverted torture before their death. But there was a bizarre survivor in the castle, the one in front of him. He was the butler of the earl's family, named Hamid Singh. Hamid Singh went to France a few days before the incident. It is said that the countess ordered jewelry in France and asked the butler to pick it up. The police highly suspected that the butler Hamid Singh was involved in the murder. However, the butler's alibi was perfect, and no evidence pointing to the murder could be found. In addition, the scene was not protected in the first place, and was destroyed by the media, reporters, and citizens who came to watch the excitement. It is impossible to confirm whether the criminal left any evidence at the scene. So far, 4 years have passed since the case happened, and the murderer has not been found. It is still an unsolved case. John Killen has studied this cruel case of murder. The case file does not reveal the butler's photo and name. It was John Killen who was curious and found a way to find out the identity of the butler. In Country Y, in such a bar, John Killen unexpectedly saw the butler who was suspicious in the murder case, and his heart was inevitably shocked. But there was no clue on his face. "Thank you for your help." John Killen smiled slightly. Hamid Singh laughed. "What do you want to experience in my bar?" "I heard that this bar has the best rum in Country Y, so I came here to experience it," John Killen said. After recognizing the man's identity, John Killen gave up the idea of renting a motorboat here. If Hamid did something to the motorboat he rented, even if he reacted quickly and jumped into the sea in time, he would probably suffer some skin injuries. "You are so lucky, passenger. I happened to bring a few bottles of top-quality strong rum today," Hamid said, glancing at the switchblade in John Killen's hand. John Killen put the knife back with a click. "Then I am really lucky." Then he followed Hamid into the bar. Asterisk. "Grandpa, Mom, Dad, Big Brother, Little Sister, you guys go back quickly. I will send a message to everyone in the group when I arrive in Xianyang." Cheng Ling sat in a 7-seater commercial vehicle and waved goodbye to the family members outside the car door. Uncle Li, the housekeeper, closed the car door and started the car. Cheng Ling sent a message to Wang Zhen. "Cheng Xiaoling, we will be downstairs of your house in about 15 minutes. You and Xiao Xin will wait for us at the door of the unit with your luggage." Wang Zhen, "Okay." The day after Cheng Ling took Wang Zhen to see the new house, Wang Zhen contacted the moving company to move to the new house. There was not much luggage, so it took half a day to move. Wang Zhen called Lin Langxing over, saying that she was helping to tidy up the room, and said that she was a little scared to live in the new house, so she asked Xiao Xin to stay with her for a few days. Anyway, during the crew, the two of them lived together, so they could adapt in advance. They could also talk about the division of work in the crew. Lin Langxing knew that Wang Zhen was taking care of her. Wang Zhen was very caring. In addition, the burden in her heart was lifted, and Lin Langxing ate well and slept well these 2 days. Her originally sunken cheeks had grown a little flesh, and the dark circles under her eyes caused by long-term lack of sleep had disappeared a lot. She looked much more energetic, and finally had the vigorous look of a young girl. Most of the crew members and actors flew from Fengcheng. Gong Baiyu, director Su, and others arrived in Xianyang a day in advance to do some preparations before filming. Hu Suitong arranged the crew members' plane tickets, train tickets to Xianyang, and hotel accommodation. This was a lucrative job. Hu Suitong knew a travel agency and reached an agreement. The invoices for the plane tickets and hotel expenses were 20% higher than the actual expenses. The travel agency took a little kickback, and the rest was all Hu Suitong's. More importantly, Hu Suitong has the power to arrange airplane seats and hotel rooms. She will make things difficult for anyone who offends her. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Bulletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 366. The crew paid for the actors' plane tickets and seats, all in business class. The agent, assistant and other staff members were in economy class. Hu Suitong arranged Chen Ling's seat normally, without any tricks. But Chen Ling's agent Wang Zhen, and assistant Lin Lengxing, Hu Suitong put a lot of thought into it. What is the worst seat on an airplane? The answer is, the last row. The last row will have greater vibrations during takeoff and landing. And the back is against the toilet. Further back is the workroom for heating airplane meals. Passengers in the last few rows will be bothered by the mixed smell of the toilet and heated meals when they sit in their seats. The sound of flushing the toilet is quite noisy. The last row is the most pitiful, because opening and closing the toilet door will cause the back of the chair to vibrate. During the toilet opening hours, passengers will go back and forth to the toilet. When the toilet is full and there is a queue, the passengers waiting to go to the toilet will squeeze in the aisle of the last row, and there is almost no private space in the last row. And most of the seats at the rear of civil airliners have no windows, which gives people a very stuffy and depressing feeling. The reclining angle of the seats in the last row is also very small, and your waist will be very tired after sitting for a long time. The most important thing is that the plane can get off the plane when it arrives at the destination, and the speed of getting off the plane in the last row is the slowest among the passengers in the entire cabin. Because you have to wait for the guests in front to leave before you can get out of the plane. There are so many crew members, and it is a collective activity. Everyone is tired from the journey, and they all hope to reach the destination as soon as possible. If anyone makes everyone wait, they will be complained by everyone. In this atmosphere, Chen Ling, the agent and assistant who made the entire crew accompany her to wait for her, must be embarrassed. And these stars have bad tempers. If they are not satisfied, they will hit and scold the assistants. Wang Zhen and Lin Lengxing were very painful during the entire flight, and they would also feel resentful. At this time, Chen Ling accused them again. Wang Zhen, Hu Suitong knows, this sister is not a vegetarian. Both parties will definitely have a very unpleasant quarrel. Hu Suitong thought about it and couldn't help but smile. At this time, ding ding ding, it's her turn to appear. Hu Suitong will stand on Chen Ling's side, and together they will share the same hatred and scold Wang Zhen and Lin Lengxing. It's natural to get closer to Chen Ling. After getting closer, Hu Suitong can paint a rostrum for Chen Ling, brand endorsement. A spot on a variety show. An opportunity to appear in a big budget movie. A top star in China. Countless honors. When Chen Ling is dizzy and dazed by her tricks, she will send her to Ma's Heekan's bed. Hu Suitong will tell Chen Ling that as long as she pleases Mr. Ma, Chen Ling can go abroad and become an international star. Her mission is accomplished. So easy. Hu Suitong is very proud. The crew members have arrived one after another. After a while, the plane broadcast was heard. Passengers going to Xianyang, please note that your flight XXX is about to board. Please take your belongings, show your boarding pass, and go to gate 20 to board. First class, business class, and passengers who need help, please board through the VIP channel. Chen Ling and Bai Qingcan stood up and chatted with each other, picked up their small suitcases, and walked to the VIP channel with other stars in the crew. Wang Zhen and Lin Lengxing also stood up and followed Chen Ling to the VIP channel. Hu Suitong had been observing them. When she saw this scene, she immediately shouted, "Hey, you two, Wang Zhen, Chen Ling's assistant, wait a minute, the first and business class passengers are boarding now, why are you two also going over? You two country bumpkins, have you never been on a plane before?" Wang Zhen turned around and rolled her eyes at Hu Suitong. "We are in first class." "First class? The staff are all in economy class," Hu Suitong sneered. "What a joke. First class? The first class is 3 times the price of economy class. Even celebrities are in business class." Wang Zhen smiled and raised the ticket in her hand. "Oh, I know. My Lingling accidentally discovered that Xiao Xing and I were in a bad seat on the plane, so she paid for it out of her own pocket and upgraded us to first class. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment." Author, Bulletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 367. Ah! Hu Suitong was stunned. The celebrities she has come into contact with all have their eyes above their heads and only wait for others to serve their masters. Chen Ling actually had the time to know where his agent and assistant were sitting? Moreover, paying for an upgrade out of your own pocket? She couldn't help but look at Chen Ling, who was standing in the VIP aisle. Chen Ling seemed to feel something, stopped chatting with Bai Qingqin, turned around, and looked at Hu Suitong through the crowd. Her eyes were full of cold disgust and contempt. Hu Suitong felt his chest tighten. She actually felt a little scared. Bai Qingqin turned his head and said something to Chen Ling, and then Chen Ling turned around. Only then did Hu Suitong feel that her breathing rate had returned to normal. Then, she thought of something, took out her phone, and walked away from the crew. She called the Xianyang Hotel where the crew was staying. "Ah, Wang Zhen," the front desk confirmed Hu Suitong's identity, "please provide your ID number and I will check it for you." Hu Suitong looked through the information in his hand and reported Wang Zhen's ID number. The front desk said, "This guest's room has been upgraded to an executive suite with extra money." Hu Suitong. Even the hotel has been upgraded. Did Chen Ling notice something? Did she make the wrong choice when she chose Chen Ling to start? "Hello, Ms. Hu? Is there anything else I can help you with?" "Hello." Hu Suitong hung up the phone upset. She would never dare to persuade Maz Hekan to give up the attack on Chen Ling. And, she spent all the money she used to conquer Chen Ling. No matter what, she would send Chen Ling to Mr. Ma's bed. If you are not good at literature, you can only use martial arts. Chen Ling, you forced me to do this. Asterisk. After the flight arrived, the crew members took a chartered car, went to the hotel, and checked their luggage. In the afternoon, the crew arranged a start-up ceremony. Director Su Zhimu, producer Gong Baiyu, producer Fu Yubin, the current head of Xinjiao Feng Xing, and other members of the crew all rushed to the opening ceremony of the Light and Blood crew. Several important actors are putting on makeup in the background. The makeup fits the characters in the show. Everyone wants to show their best appearance to everyone, because this show will definitely be a hit. Then the images they play in the play will be deeply rooted in people's hearts. The crew has already announced the opening ceremony on Weibo, inviting mainstream media, and also welcomes some small media companies or entertainment companies. The ceremony site was crowded with media and fans. The live broadcast platform that signed the contract hired a senior photography team, and rows of black cameras were aimed at the stage for live broadcast. The live broadcast room was packed with people. Everyone has been swiping the screen. "GKD, hurry up, my wife is about to give birth. Sister Qingqin. Sister-in-law. Big sister." The opening ceremony is the same old routine. The host of the ceremony first went to the center of the stage, took the microphone and introduced himself to the guests and media from all walks of life, thanking everyone for coming, blah blah. Then, introduced the creative background of Light and Blood, the achievements of the novel, and how well it has been praised by the literary world, bala bala. Finally, let me briefly introduce the story of this TV series. The second link is to introduce the crew. First the director, then the producer, and then the producer. When everyone is introduced, the person being introduced will walk on the stage, pick up the microphone, express their expectations, and how they will take it seriously, and strive to make a TV series that everyone will like. After delivering his speech, there will be a Q/U0026 a session with the media. Fu Yubin was wearing a sultry purple suit and a yellow tie, with his standard bossy smile on his face. 3 points uninhibited, 5 points frivolous, 2 points provocative. The reporter asked, "Excuse me, why did the wealthy CEO choose to invest in this TV series? Are you a fan of this novel?" Fu Yubin said, "I have not read this novel, but my old friend Jang Ki-eun is a die-hard fan of this novel and forced me to invest. In addition, I am not the largest funder." The reporter lowered his head and looked at the brochure published. "Wasn't it written?" Fu Yubin said, "Our largest investor is unwilling to reveal his identity." The reporter asked again, "Excuse me, since actor Jang is a die-hard fan of this novel, why did he not participate in this performance?" Fu Yubin lifted up his broken hair from his forehead, "Because he can't schedule it. But, he also participated in an important part of this part of the drama." The reporter was stunned and almost shouted, "Is it the theme song?" Fu Yubin did not answer directly, no comment. Barrage. Important part. That must be the creation of the theme song. Actor Jang has said more than once that he is a fan of Yang Ji and wants to participate in Yang Ji's novel. Alas, I heard that he was unable to participate because of injury. The male protagonist was tailor-made for Jang Ki-eun, but Chen Yugzu missed it. Actor Jiang's acting skills are indeed very good, but I personally feel that the role of the male protagonist is not suitable for Jang Ki-eun. It is difficult for him to express the entanglement and struggle of the male protagonist. Proceed if you can. How? I don't know how to refrigerate, so I'm not qualified to comment on refrigerators. Don't step on it. Best actor Jang is a good actor, and Chen Yugzu is also a good actor. Everyone, stop arguing, Director Su is on stage. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Bulletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 368. Director Su's Himu said some official words as a routine. Then, it was the question and answer session. Director Su, why did you choose Cheng Ling as the heroine? I heard that Cheng Ling used her money power. The barrage immediately started to brush. Change, don't use Cheng Ling as a vase. Reject the inside story. Is there anyone who can tell the truth about this sister? With such a big production, this sister can actually be the heroine. Oh, it's another series of broken dreams. Yinga is a pervert, he was so obsessed with Cheng Ling that he lost his mind. Who said Yinga must be a man? Yinga has never shown his face, right? That's right, voice changers are so popular, you are just dirty inside, so everything you see is dirty. Director Su did not dodge the tricky topic raised by the reporter. He was frank and direct. I have said this many times on many occasions, whether in live interviews or on the internet. Cheng Ling's acting skills are very good. She did not use any improper means to seize this role. She conquered us with her acting skills. As for how good her acting skills are, the eyes of the masses are sharp. When Light and Blood starts airing, I believe that the audience will give the answer. Director Su has always been famous for his straightforward and venomous mouth. Could it be that Cheng Ling is really a good actor? Big Sister, YYDS. Looking forward to Big Sister's performance in the play. Big Sister, Cover your ears and run forward. Chen Ling's fans are called Ling Family Army. Ling Family Army has a rule: any TV series, variety shows, live broadcasts, etc. that Chen Ling participates in cannot be screen swiped. Chen Ling cannot be recommended everywhere to avoid ruining her popularity. Chen Ling cannot be discussed under other stars, etc. They are organized and disciplined to call Chen Ling regularly, never pull down, do not compare, and do not cause trouble for Big Sister. The reporter asked again, in this costume drama, the heroine possesses peerless martial arts, so I believe there should be a lot of fighting scenes in the drama. How did Chen Ling shoot these fighting scenes? Did she find a body double? Director Su said, all the difficult movements were completed by Chen Ling alone. She promised that she would never use any body double. The media was in an uproar. Fighting scenes, many fighting scenes require wires, and there are also some front flips and back flips. The props team of Light and Blood said that they strive to be real and get rid of the plastic feeling this time, so the weapons in it are all real swords, no body double, impossible. For soft fighting scenes, it is better to find a professional martial arts body double to perform, at least it looks more atmospheric. In fact, there is nothing wrong with finding a body double. The martial arts scenes are just to add a sense of excitement. We mainly look at the acting skills. If the acting skills are not good, even if you are full of sincerity, you can't move the audience. Has everyone not seen Survivor? I want to say, maybe Chen Ling is very good at fighting. I am looking forward to watching her fighting scenes. Director Su also said, moreover, all the lines of Chen Ling in this drama will be read by herself, and no dubbing actors will be used. No dubbing actors. The heroine of this drama has a lot of lines, especially the scenes of debating with scholars. Are you sure Chen Ling has the brain to memorize so many lines? That's right, actually, post-dubbing is nothing. Which actor doesn't look for post-dubbing now? Chen Ling was the topic of the opening ceremony. However, some reporters were also concerned about the male lead Chen Yuxu. After all, he was such a big star. Excuse me, Director Su, I heard that Chen Yuxu was not the male lead in the initial audition, so why did he play the male lead in the end? Director Su said, this is the intention of the novel author and editor, Yinga. When Chen Yuxu came to audition, Yinga felt that he was more suitable for the male lead. So he let him try out the play. Everyone who has seen the play unanimously agreed that Chen Yuxu is the best choice for the male lead. The reporter at the scene held up the microphone, trying to get a chance to ask questions. However, Director Su saw the host gesture, prompting to end the current session as soon as possible because the actor was ready to appear. This is the highlight of this opening ceremony. Director Su then said to the reporters with full apology, my question session is over. The reporter at the scene immediately let out a dissatisfied ah. Then Director Su extended his hand to invite, next, please invite all the leading actors to come on stage. The media aimed at the stage exit. The fans screamed, tiptoed, stretched their necks, and looked towards the stage entrance. The barrage made the screen freeze. Ah, I'm so looking forward to it. The last time I saw this kind of scene was at the start of filming for Yinga's previous novel. Sister Ling, get out of the way, I want to see Sister Ling. There was no suspense, no buffer. The first person to come out was the actress who played the heroine, Chen Ling. The camera was focused on Chen Ling. The comments paused for a moment. I was too loud against Chen Ling before, I'm sorry, I love you. Oh my god, is Chen Ling so beautiful? Is it that Yeshao Kai's soul has traveled to Chen Ling? Is it that Yeshao Kai's soul has traveled to Chen Ling? Is it that Yeshao Kai's soul has traveled to Chen Ling? When you're not there, everything loses its color. When you stand there, everything loses its color. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 369. The clothes Chen Ling wore today were not the gorgeous and complicated clothes of ordinary ancient women. She was wearing the battle robe that the head of the Ye family wore on the battlefield. A well-ironed white robe with flowing cloud patterns, a silver robe on the outside, and white deerskin boots on the feet. The dazzling white clothes made Chen Ling's lips and teeth look red. Her eyes were as black as lacquer, and her eyebrows flew into her hair. She held a silver-headed red-tasseled spear in her right hand, and a half-moon scimitar about 1 meter long was hung on her left waist. The blade of the scimitar was all black, with cold dark blue wave patterns on it. This is a secret gold weapon carefully crafted according to the original novel. On her back was a light blue glass bow about 1 meter and 60 long, and a light blue quiver of the same color. The arrows in the quiver, the arrow body and the arrow feathers, were all black. Chen Ling walked slowly from the backstage. It was like bringing the bloody storm of the entire Jianghu in. Kara, Kara. As she walked, the weapon on her body rubbed and collided with the silver battle robe, making a clanging metallic sound. Chen Ling was wrapped in a solemn and murderous fighting spirit, with a strange, cold, and frosty violent aesthetic. People looked at Chen Ling on the stage, and in an instant, she was dragged back to ancient times. Her outfit did not have a brand new plastic feel. The white robe seemed to have been worn for a while, with a sense of ironing after being washed and pressed against the body, without the slightest brand new plastic feel of the costume. Even the red tasseled spear in her hand had been used for a long time. The spear body was polished and smooth, and the red tassel had dark red stains, as if it was stained with human blood. It was as if the young master of the Ye family had just come down from the battlefield and won the victory. It's over, I'm really moved. Thumbs up to the props team, this outfit does not have the plastic feel of domestic games at all. My aesthetics have been corrected, so handsome, so cool, so cool. One glance. Secretary, within 1 minute, I want all of Chen Ling's information and photos. Ye's clan leader, Ye Shaokayu has arrived. With a clan leader like this, I can understand why her clan members are willing to die for her. The awe-inspiring autumn torrent, the spirit of the moon shooting into the cold river. The pale words make people want to cry, it's so damn beautiful. Her outfit seems to be made of real metal, it doesn't look like a prop at all. And there is a metallic sound, is it a special effect added by the live sound effects team? Chen Ling walked in and stood in the center of the stage. The whole audience was silent. Everyone, including the director, producer, and many actors, saw Chen Ling's outfit for the first time. Because, this outfit was brought by Chen Ling herself. It was not prepared by the crew. Only the makeup artists who were responsible for Chen Ling's makeup and clothes, the first to see the moon, saw Chen Ling's costume first, and their hearts were beating wildly. The media reporters at the scene were even oppressed by her spirit and forgot to take pictures. Chen Ling's cold eyes swept across the audience. Those who were swept by her eyes felt a cold knife rubbing against their necks, and their scalps were numb belatedly. After the momentum was almost built, Chen Ling retracted her fierce fighting desire. The air at the scene slowly flowed, and people also relaxed. But the crew, especially those who knew more about the novel Light and Blood, could not extricate themselves. They were replaced by Chen Ling in the play. Especially the 6 guardians, they looked at Chen Ling on the stage and were excited. At this moment, she was their master. They were willing to do everything for her. Even if it was against morality, human ethics, and common sense. As long as she said it, they would do it. The reporter who had previously questioned Chen Ling's ability to play the role of the head of the Ye family was speechless. The host came to his senses first. He took a breath, calmed his mind, took the microphone, and walked towards Chen Ling. Chen Ling looked over. The host felt his breath choked, and his steps hesitated. Finally, he stopped 2 meters away from Chen Ling. "Teacher Chen," the host said respectfully, "you are so cool." The host's voice floated in the scene, as if breaking a spell. The crowd woke up completely, lowered their voices and began to discuss in a low voice. Chen Ling's eyes were unyielding and soft, and she carried the pressure of a superior. She nodded slightly to the host, "Thank you." This is the reserved politeness of the head of the Ye family. There is no panic of being praised, and no joy of being recognized. Clearly tell the other party with body language that I am expressing my gratitude for your recognition out of courtesy. Barrage. I said before that Chen Ling is not suitable for Ye Shaokaiu. I punished myself with 3 slaps. Oh my god, the tone of her speech is Ye Shaokaiu. The fans of this book are relieved. Chen Ling is perfect for the role. Yinga has always been very discerning in choosing actors. Come on, crew, hurry up and start filming. I'll wait in the toilet. IVE press the screenshot button on my phone until it's useless. Every frame can be used as a phone cover. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 370. The host kept his mission in mind and looked for topics to avoid the guests being bored. He looked at the red tassel spear in Chen Ling's hand and found a topic. This red tassel spear is really well made. Our props team has put a lot of effort into it. The producer Gongbao turned on the microphone and corrected, "No, this is prepared by Chen Ling herself. All her costumes and weapons are prepared by her." The host was surprised, "Really?" Chen Ling did not use the microphone, but her voice was clear. Although her voice was not necessarily loud, everyone in the venue could hear her voice clearly. "Really? However, I got help from many people. Here, I would like to thank the China Red Tassel Spear Research Association and Mr. Feng Hixiang, the most senior martial arts master in China who uses the red tassel spear." Chen Ling raised the red tassel spear in his hand. "This is his cherished red tassel spear, which he gave to our crew for filming." Everyone was surprised. "Ah! This red tassel spear is actually a real weapon? And it has such a background? No wonder it looks so pleasing to the eye." Chen Ling continued to explain, Wushu, a martial artist in the late Ming and early Qing dynasties, wrote in hand records, "Spear King theory, the spear is the king of all weapons, and all weapons will be defeated when they encounter the spear. This is also the best weapon used by the heroine of this novel. I will use this red tassel spear well and will not let down the reputation of the red tassel spear." Oh my god, Mr. Feng Hixiang, many wonderful armed fighting scenes in domestic kung fu films are all directed by him as martial arts instructor. Mr. Feng actually gave the red tassel spear to the crew. I boldly guess that it is because Chen Ling is good at spearmanship that the old man gave it. Tisk, what martial arts master isn't old man Feng just taking advantage of his retirement to make a fortune? The martial arts spirit of China has long disappeared. Ding, Chen Ling used his money ability to get a Feng Hixiang's red tassel spear. Even if it costs money, so what? For this spirit, I am optimistic about Chen Ling and the crew of Light and Blood. The red tassel spear has such a history, could other weapons also have a history? The host obviously thought of it. When the discussion on the scene was a little quieter, the host asked again, "Then the thing on Teacher Cheng's waist, is it a knife?" Chen Ling nodded. The host continued to ask, "Is this also made of real metal? Isn't it a resin prop?" Chen Ling smiled casually, "It is real metal, of course, not made of mystic gold or dash." A low and knowing laugh rang out at the scene. Mystic gold ore is a fictitious meteorite mine in the novel Light and Blood. "This scimitar is made of black steel," she said. The host tentatively asked, "Then can I weigh it?" Chen Ling nodded. The knife hung on the left side of her body. She held the red tassel spear in her left hand, and her right hand reached to her left waist to pull out the knife. Swish. The action of drawing the knife was clean and neat, without any drag. Chen Ling was attentive. She must have practiced this action repeatedly. Is it a real knife? Will other actors be hurt during the fight? The crew will take good precautions. I just want to see real fighting scenes. The fighting scenes in modern costume dramas are just chickens fighting each other, or the 3-cent magic flash sword special effects, which make people's toes so embarrassed that they can dig out a villa. Just looking at this knife, my blood is boiling. Humans' love for cold weapons is engraved in their bones. Chen Ling held the knife horizontally, with the blade facing down, and handed the handle to the host. The host put the microphone on the ground and took the knife with both hands. The metal weapon was heavy, with a cold and noble texture that props did not have. The host's eyes lit up. It can be seen that the host really likes this knife. He touched the blade gently, and even bent his fingers and flicked the blade with his nails, making a sound of metal and stone. The host looked at it over and over for a full minute before returning the knife. This knife is so beautiful. So textured. The host bent down and picked up the microphone on the ground. Teacher Chen, can you show it to the audience in the live broadcast room? Sure, Chen Ling said as he took the handle of the knife. The host took a step back. Chen Ling held the long knife and first made a knife flower. Then, on the left and right sides of the body, he turned his wrist and drew a beautiful 8 pattern in the air. The blade broke through the air, driving the air to make a buzzing sound. The knife danced very quickly, and the black blade left a trace on people's retinas. The silver robe on his body also made a sound. The white robe, silver armor, and black long knife gave people a strong visual impact. Full of tension.